Hey guys, hey guys. Today I want to play the game Slay the Spire, which is an early access game from Steam. And I've been playing this game quite a lot and really enjoyed it so far. It's basically a card game, and I think I've beat it like 30 times already or something, and I really enjoy playing this while listening to podcasts or something, and I wanted to show it to you, and I think you might enjoy it as well. So basically there are 3 play modes. Either you create a custom game, which I never really did, or you have these specific challenges where you have different modifiers, like getting certain cards at the beginning, and the character that you have to choose is basically predetermined. So I don't do that too often because the modifiers make the experience kind of weird. Or you just play the standard game, which means you get to choose one of 3 characters. Okay, first of all, there's the Ironclad, who has 80 HP, more than the other characters, and he has a starting relic which heals 6 HP every turn, which is a great advantage because HP is always the most critical factor mostly. And yeah, the description says the remaining soldier of the Ironclads sold his soul to harness demonic energies. So this is the character I used to take at the beginning, but now I really prefer the second character, called the Silent. A deadly huntress from the Foglands, eradicates foes with daggers and poisons. I didn't know it's a girl actually, but now I know. And her starting relic is Ring of the Snake, which at the start of each combat you can draw 2 additional cards, which is a great advantage, but she has lower HP than the Ironclad. And then third, there's the Defect, which is kind of a combat automaton, and he relies on orbs, and it's a specific way of playing. Basically you can channel different orbs which either create block or create damage or something like that. And I tried it a few times, but I don't really enjoy playing with it so much. So for me, my preferred character definitely is the Silent, which I'm gonna do now as well. Alright, so at the beginning there's a big whale, which is kind of weird, and sometimes if you play it a bit you can choose among 4 different rewards, either upgrade a card or enemies have 1 HP for a few combats, which isn't really that useful because at the beginning enemies are pretty weak. Then transform 2 cards or obtain a random boss relic, but you don't want to lose your starting relic because it's very powerful, so I'm going to choose this one. Transform 2 cards, I guess that's the better one, because yeah, let's hope I have something good. So these are my starting cards. You basically have 5 block cards and 5 attack cards, and 1 card that is a bit better when it comes to blocking, and 1 neutralized card. So I'm gonna choose to update this one and update that one. Okay, so now I got 2 new cards because I basically transformed them. One of them, whenever you play a card, gain 1 block, it's not bad. And the other one is one of the best cards of the game in my opinion. Basically, when the enemy dies, you will deal damage equal to the max HP to all enemies, which basically helps you to kill even bosses, and it's super powerful. So I'm happy about that. So this is basically what the map looks like. It's kind of a dungeon crawler. You basically can choose a path, and either you have a monster with this weird monster icon, and then there is the shops, which are those things where you can buy cards or relics, and then there is the fireplaces where you can heal or upgrade cards. These are boss battles, which are harder, and then these are like treasures, where usually you will find some relic. And then here, this is the boss of chapter 1, and there's 3 chapters in total. And it sounds kind of boring maybe, but I think you're gonna understand this quickly and just give it a try. So which path am I gonna choose? So basically, if you take paths without any healing, you might be in real trouble. And it's also a good idea to go to these stores from time to time, at least if you have money, but I don't have any money, so it's no use for me to go to the store for now. So I think what I'm going to do for now is I'm going to choose a path where I can heal up and I can fight a lot of bosses, because bosses give me relics and the level 1 bosses aren't that strong. So I think, I mean, you never really know what the best choice is gonna be, but I'm gonna take one of those paths. Yeah, I think this is a good idea. So this is basically randomized. And actually I play with a gamepad, just so you know. Okay, so now a number of cards is randomly drawn. I get 2 more cards because I am this class, and I am able to now select these cards. And at the lower left corner, the 3 out of 3, that's basically my action points. And at the top left corner of every card, you see how much action points a card will consume. So this is basically the dynamics. Up here you will see potions that you can use. Here's your money, here's your health, and other than that, here is the relics, and you will get many more relics in the course of the adventure. And yeah, it doesn't take too long. I mean, to finish the game, maybe it's 1.5 hours, and it's really cool to like listen to a podcast and play just like this. And yeah, now I'm gonna decide what I'm gonna do. So I can show you this really powerful card. I'm gonna use it on this small slime, because he's gonna die soon and he's gonna deal 10 damage to this one. And next I'm going to use this card there, and I'm gonna use the strike on this guy, and then continue. So yeah, I'm not gonna explain too much. I'm just gonna play this game a bit, and I hope that you can, it's not really difficult to understand. If you're interested, I really urge you to check it out. So this small slime is trying to attack me now, and he's gonna die anyway, so I don't have to really deal with him. Yeah. Okay, so this guy is trying to attack me now, so I could try to block him, but I hope I can kill him. Yeah, I can. So now he's dead, and I made it. I made the first enemies. So now I get some gold and I get to choose a card. So I have 3 cards to choose. This one is useful because it doesn't take any AP. This one is also useful because it's a compounding effect. This one is useful as well. So I think I'm gonna go with this one, the Noxious Fumes, because it's pretty useful. Poison is pretty much overpowered in the game, I believe. At least it's really useful. So yeah. So here's the second enemy. I think I'm going to... There's only one, but still it's useful to poison him because it's gonna deal damage all the time. And then I'm gonna use this card as well, so I get block with every card I play. So yeah, at the beginning you don't really know which cards are good, but when you play for a while, you will kind of know by heart which ones are useful. So now I'm gonna use this attack because the other ones only gain 5 block. And I'm gonna discard this one card, and I'm gonna use the Noxious Fumes that I just got. So this guy will get 2 poison every turn. So now you see at the left corner I have some block. So 11 block, so this guy is not gonna deal any damage to me. Alright. So this guy became a bit stronger now, so now I can either attack him more, but I think I'm gonna make sure I don't lose too much health. This is one of the things that is important with my character, because there's really almost no ways to replenish your health, so you want to be a bit careful. Now I'm going to use this so he does less damage, and I'm going to use my block again because he's going to die soon anyways because he's poisoned. There's a stupid dog outside, but whatever. So now I could try to block, but I'm gonna kill him, so I don't have to deal with him. So now I don't have to do anything anymore because he's poisoned now, and now I did it. So now I get to choose another card, and I'm gonna choose the mid one. It's one of my favorite cards. So you deal damage, and with every card you play, the enemy loses additional damage. And this is super useful because eventually you will have many cards that you can play because they cost 0 AP basically. Okay, so here's the next battle. I'm gonna first make him a bit weak. Then I think I'm going to make sure I don't get to lose any HP. Now he's attacking me. Okay, that's fine. So I think next I'm going to do this. So basically always I get some block, and then I'm going to use Corpse Explosion, even though it's not that useful if it's only one enemy for this card. Okay, and now he does 10 damage, so I have to be a bit careful. And yeah, I think, yeah, I could have been more aggressive, but I don't want to lose too much health at the beginning. And what I do in the first chapter is usually just try to fight as many boss enemies as possible, because those are gonna give you very useful relics that you will need later on when the game gets more difficult. And now I don't need to do much because he's gonna die anyways. So as you see, the poison that I'm already doing is quite powerful, and I don't really have much problem. This is a potion that gives me a lot of strength, which increases my damage output, but only for 1 turn. This is actually a great card because it can double the enemy's poison. You can also upgrade cards and it will triple the enemy's poison, which makes this card super dangerous for bosses, for example. You can have like 50 or 100 poison sometimes. I had that once already. Okay, so now I have 3 enemies. Now this card is super useful because it can basically kill them all with 1 turn. The problem is, however, it's gonna be hard to kill him right away. So I think I'm gonna just take some damage, whatever, and be sure to hurt him a bit more. But now is the question, I'm not gonna be able to kill him right now, so I'm gonna use this block right now. So now they're gonna do a bit of damage to me, but that's fine. So I can show it to you. So yeah, I've been playing this quite a while, so I know the enemies already and their attacks. Later on there will be some enemies with some special attacks as well. Now I just have to kill the guy on the right, so everybody's gonna die. So now I don't even have to do anything anymore. I can just end my turn and everybody's gonna die, which is how powerful this card is. It's crazy. So yes, now I get to choose another card. I already have one of those. Should I take it again? I think not. This one applies weak, which means creatures deal 25% less damage. This one poisons as well. I like poison more, so I'm gonna take the poison stab. So now I get to choose 2 different paths. I don't really have much money, so I think it's not that worthwhile to go to the store yet. So I'm gonna check this out. So this is a randomized kind of action that can happen. I can gain gold or I can remove a card from my deck. So I'm gonna choose the gold, which is very useful to me later on, I think. And now I can choose either to heal or to take on a boss enemy. I'm gonna take on the boss enemy. So those ones aren't that strong. And especially since I have this card, which basically kills all 3 of them with 1 turn, which is pretty insane. But they can get a bit annoying and it can take a while to kill them. So what I want to do first, I think I'm gonna use this card. Then I'm gonna use this card, but he has an artifact, so he's not gonna get poisoned yet. And then I'm gonna use a bit of my block. So he's gonna still deal 2 damage, but that's fine. And I hope that I'm getting my corpse explosion card back soon, so I can kill all 3 of them with 1 action, which is what I'm really aiming for. So now unfortunately I don't really have that many useful cards, so I'm just gonna go with a lot of armor, because these guys are making 18 damage in total, which is quite a lot. And I'm hoping to get my useful card back very soon. Yes, I have it. So this is what I'm going for. I'm going to use Corpse Explosion on this guy. Then I'm going to use... yeah, unfortunately I can't use this right now, so I think I'm just going to use this to get some armor, because I don't want to die yet. Yeah, I could have used the 1 card, which I just threw away, but that's fine. So I don't make that many mistakes anymore, but obviously the order in which you choose to use the cards is very relevant. Now I have a bit of a problem because I don't have any blocking cards, so I'm going to use my strength potion. Then I'm going to attack here and use this to attack next. And this already suffices to kill this guy. So, I mean, whatever, I'm just going to use this then. So these are unplayable cards, I can't do anything with them. So he's gonna kill at least the other guy as well. So this was well played, I think. So this guy's gonna explode, and this guy has only 1 health left. This is how powerful this card is, it's crazy. So now unfortunately I only have these defend cards, so I can't do much. I'm just gonna wait a turn until this guy... yes. So now I'm gonna kill him. So this was my first boss fight that I won pretty easy because I had good cards. This is pretty useful, I think. I can choose a power card that I can start every combat with. So I'm gonna choose, I think, the after image, because it's gonna be in my hand every time now. And this is a great potion as well, because it gives me permanently 5 HP plus. Now I can choose a card, and actually, frankly, I'm not gonna take the yellow one, because usually the yellow ones are the most rare ones. The ones with the blue top are the medium rare ones, and the one with the gray top are not so rare. And this one is kind of useful, but I'm gonna use this one because I think it's kind of overpowered. It's super useful, because every time the enemy attacks you, they get some damage. And to me, it's one of the best cards in the game, especially against boss enemies. Okay, this is another special event. We meet again. A cheery, disheveled fellow approaches you gleefully. You do not know this man. It's me, Ranwit. Have any goods for me today? The usual? A fellow like me can't make it alone, you know? You eye him suspiciously and consider your options. So either he gives me a relic, or I lose a card and get a relic. So this is a bit difficult now, because the relic might be useless. At the same time, I kind of don't want to lose all my gold. So, and this card isn't really worth 112, but still I think I'm going to go with the money, and let's hope it's a good relic, because if you buy the relics in the store, they're more expensive. They're like 200, 300 gold coins. Alright. Magnificent. This will be quite handy if I run into those mask-wearing hoodlums again. He rummages around his various pockets. Here, look what I've got for you today. Take it. Take it. So, let's see. This is the relic we got. So the first time you lose HP each combat, draw 3 cards. This is very useful. I think it's one of the better relics. Not the best one, but it's a good one. Because having more cards means you have more choices, and you can just do a much better job. So yeah, these 2 guys are just attacking me right away, which makes my life a bit more difficult. But I think I'm just gonna use the corpse explosion again on this guy, so he will kill the other guy, or at least deal a good amount of damage. And next I want to at least offset some of the damage, so I'm using my blocking card. Alright, so at least the first attack is being blocked, but the second attack I can't block, unfortunately. So this is really a good amount of damage, unfortunately. But next, yeah, I think I'm just going to use this one first. So every time they attack me, they deal some damage. Then I'm going to use this. And then I want to be able to offset a bit more of the damage that they deal to me. Yeah. If enemies are really aggressive, it's kind of difficult to defend against it. This guy is gonna also deal a good amount of damage, and unfortunately I don't regenerate at all. But now I can deal kind of a heavy blow to him, because now I can use this poisonous stab to him, and he's gonna die next turn, and I'm gonna use my defend, and then I'm gonna attack him as well. So this guy is gonna explode and gonna deal 28 damage as well. So now finally I've done it. And as you've seen, every time he attacks me, he's getting damaged as well. No, yeah, unfortunately I'm gonna take damage again, because yeah, this wasn't super well played, but I was a bit unlucky. So here, it would be nice to have better block cards, but this vulnerable card is really useful because enemies will take more damage. I really do need some better blocking cards that will increase my block more than previously. This is a treasure chest. I hope that it's a good one. Choose an attack. Yeah, unfortunately I don't, yeah, it's kind of a useful one, because now I think I'm gonna use this one as a first attack. So every time I start, I'm gonna have this attack in my hand. Alright, so now as you see, I have quite a bit of damage, so I'm gonna go to the fireplace. Here I can either smith, so I can improve a card, or I can rest. I'm definitely gonna go with rest, because I have lost quite a significant amount of damage, and there's not really much other ways to heal damage. And now I get to choose which way I would like to go to. It doesn't really make too much of a difference as far as I'm concerned. I think I might go with a... Should I take the easier route, which has 2 healing, or should I take the more difficult route? This is a bit tricky, but I think I'm gonna go with a difficult one, just so there's a certain type of challenge for me. Okay, so this guy again is trying to attack me. I'm gonna use the choke thing. I'm gonna neutralize him so he deals less damage. Then I'm gonna use my block, because I don't want to get any damage from him. So he's already half dead, fortunately. But yeah, this guy has weakened me, so I deal less damage, unfortunately. But now I just want to be sure that he doesn't kill me too much. Now he deals 2 damage, which I can live with. And now hopefully I'm going to be able to get rid of him. I'm going to apply the vulnerable to him. Then I'm going to be sure to not get hurt by him. And then I'm going to be sure that he gets poisoned next turn. Although maybe I could have attacked him as well. So yeah, the more cards you get, obviously, the more important the order gets in which you basically play your cards. Now I think I'm gonna just kind of play it safe. I'm gonna use these attacks on him. He's not dead, unfortunately, yet, but he's not gonna deal any damage to me, so I don't have to worry. And he's gonna die now because of my spikes. So this was a pretty easy fight. Now I get to choose one of those. This one is kind of useful because it has 0 AP, but I think I'm going to use this one, which is very powerful against when you play many attacks, because for every attack you play in a turn, you deal 6 damage. So I think I'm going to go with the random room. I was kind of unlucky because those are quite a lot of enemies, and I will have to somehow survive this without getting too much damage in. And I think I'm gonna go with this card. So I just took a potion, which helps me to, which allowed me to draw certain cards. Next I'm gonna use the caltrops, because those guys are gonna attack me a lot. Then I think I'm going to use another... Yeah, I don't have any block cards, which is a bit non-optimal, let's just call it that way. So I think I need to kill another one. And kill. So now I can't really do much aside from just getting the damage in. It's only 8 damage, but still it builds up after a while, and if you go fight a boss with little health, this is a surefire way to lose the game, because if you get killed, you have to start all over again, quite obviously. So I think now I have a bit more choice. I'm going to use the fumes. I'm going to be sure I don't get any damage in, and then finally I'm going to put some poison on this guy, and I'm going to end my turn. They're just going to make 8 damage, which I can live with. So these small guys are still attacking me, which is fine. Now I can kill both. Okay, that's it basically. I don't have to do anything anymore because they're both dying now. This is how good the corpse explosion is. So here I think I'm gonna use the piercing whale because all enemies lose a lot of strength, which means they do very little damage, which is very useful later on in the game when enemies make a lot of damage, and I'm basically able to offset this and save myself. So this guy is kind of a slime guy, and when I kill him, he is gonna transform, which is fine. The problem here is that I don't really have a lot of block cards, so he's gonna deal a good amount of damage now, 10 damage. But I guess I'll have to live with it. I'm not gonna use the vulnerable because he's gonna transform soon, so I'm just gonna use the fumes. Then I'm gonna use this attack. Then I'm gonna use the poison stab. Then I'm gonna use the finisher. So now he's going to transform into 2 small slimes, and I'll have to fight him again, but they're still gonna get poisoned due to my attack, which is useful. Now I'm gonna use this so he deals less damage. I'm gonna use this, then I'm gonna double the enemy's poison, so he's gonna have 10 poison, and then eventually I'm going to block his damage, so this guy is in trouble now. Okay, so it's only 1 left now. Okay, now finally I don't have much to do. Yeah, he's not attacking me, so I'm just waiting to get some attack cards so I'm able to kill him. This little slime thing. Yeah, just gonna use this one. Alright, so that's it. I get a speed potion. I'm gonna use this card, which gives me a shiv at the beginning of each turn, which can be useful especially against boss enemies. Alright, so you come across a dead adventurer on the floor. His pants have been stolen. Also, it looks as though he's been gouged and trampled by a horned beast. Though his possessions are still intact, you're in no mind to find out what happened here. So I got some gold, and now I'm gonna leave, I think, because otherwise I might get into trouble. Now I'm gonna heal up a bit, and now I'm just ready to fight the boss of Act 1, which is gonna be a big slimy guy. This is basically one who will transform into 2 bigger slimes, who then in turn will also transform into bigger slimes. But he's not that dangerous as far as I'm concerned. I'm going to use this on him. Then I'm going to use this because it will be useful all the time. So now I'm waiting. His first attack is going to be strong. Or maybe it isn't. Yeah, he's preparing already. So I'm going to use this. It's useful. Terror. So he's vulnerable. I'm going to use the neutralize attack. Then I'm going to strike. Unfortunately, I don't really have any other attacks that could help me out right now. And yeah, he's now preparing for a big attack that deals 35 damage, which isn't going to kill me, but it's a bit annoying. So I'm gonna use this one. I'm gonna use the infinite blades, which is gonna help me all the time. And then I'm gonna use the speed potion so that I get more defense to at least offset 1/3 of the damage that he deals to me, approximately. Because otherwise I would be in trouble already. Not in huge trouble. So the corpse explosion I'm not gonna use, it's not that useful. This is more useful to me because he's gonna transform at some point. Then I'm gonna deal some damage. I'm gonna just attack him normally, or actually I think I'm gonna poison him, even though it's gonna be offset at some point. So yeah, he's putting these weird cards into my hand, which I can't play out. It's a bit annoying, but it's fine. So now he's getting ready to transform already. I will try to deal a good amount of damage beforehand, so that when he splits up, they have less HP, these guys. So yeah, I mean, this game is super fun, and you will see it, even though maybe it doesn't make sense to you. You will see eventually how this really can be really a tactical game in many respects, and you really have to make choices all the time on where to go and which attacks to use, and there's quite a lot of tactical thinking required. I mean, some part is also just luck. If you always get really shitty relics, it's almost impossible to beat the game. But other than that, you need to be smart about it. So this guy now tries to transform, but I was able to kill him beforehand. So now I have a very good position, because now I basically killed one of those before he was able to transform into 2 smaller ones. So now this guy tries to deal a good amount of damage. I'm gonna try to, and the problem is I'm also a bit frail, so I'm not getting as much defense as I would like to, but I'm gonna beat this guy anyways, easily. So now he's already trying to transform. Even though it's not really that useful, I'm gonna use this on him, so he's actually dying now from the poison. So otherwise he would have transformed into 2 smaller ones. So yeah, this was Act 1. Act 2 is more difficult, and Act 3 is even more difficult, obviously, but it's not super difficult. Now I get to choose like a rare card. All of them aren't that useful. I guess this one is the more useful ones of the 3. Plus I get to choose a relic now. I hope it's a good one. So this one is super bad because basically you get an energy at the beginning of each turn, but I can no longer rest at rest sites, which means I can no longer regenerate my health, which is really the worst relic ever. This is also kind of a bad relic because all the enemies start with 2 strength, which means they almost deal like double damage, which is kind of a problem. And then third, it's not perfect, but it's the one I'm gonna pick. It's you gain energy at the beginning of each turn. So I have 4 AP every turn, and then I can no longer smith, but later on you will not smith that much because in general you will need the rest sites to heal up. So I'm gonna use the fusion hammer, and now I can proceed to chapter 2, or Act 2 they call it. It's called the city. And I think I might stop this playthrough now. I hope you enjoyed this a bit. If you are interested, I will do a part 2 and a part 3 of this game. I think, let's say in 60 to 70% of the cases I'm able to beat all 3 acts. But sometimes I make mistakes and I'm unlucky, and sometimes I get too greedy and I want to fight too many bosses to get cool relics, but then I might lose. So in many cases it's good to choose your battles and to not always fight that much, but instead have enough breaks, just like in real life. So thank you very much for watching and have a good day. Goodbye.